and welcome to Nurse Table Talk. I'm Nurse Julie.
Hi, everybody. It's Kathy here.
And today we are going to talk about what is an appeal. And this is in Kathy's wheelhouse, so we're going to let her take the lead on that. So let's get started.
Okay, so when you go to a doctor's office, and Julie, I know that you've seen some of your own providers lately, so we'll use you as our patient. So when you went into a doctor's visit and they say, oh, we recommend that you have a procedure, and your first question is,
do I need a prior authorization?
Yeah. So what's getting lost in translation is that when people have medical insurance, you almost think that, hey, I pay for this, therefore I have health care. I have access to health care. And yes, that's true, but it's not everything under the sun, and it isn't. There's so many rules that go along to using your medical insurance that when you do go into the doctor's office, not only is, do I need a prior authorization, a question, but there's like 7 other ones that need to be asked. So I just want to go through those because it's easier to clean this stuff up on the front end before you need an appeal than to actually do the appeal process at the end. So the prevention of needing an appeal, a reason that you would need an appeal is that for whatever reason, they have just, and when I say they, I mean your insurance company, they just decided not to cover what you thought they were going to cover. They might deem it as experimental or investigational or not medically necessary. And I know that that makes people livid because your doctor's telling you it's necessary and then the insurance company is telling you that it's not. So there's that, right? It also can be if they got a prior authorization, but they got it for the wrong day, or they got it for the wrong string of days, or under an incorrect order. So there's a ton of different places for this thing to fall apart. Mm-hmm. When you go into registration, that's a point of failure. When you get the referral, that's a point of failure. When you have the procedure, it could go bad there. Not the procedure, but the whole getting the prior auth, getting it approved, all of these stars aligning so that you can get your procedure done. So that takes you to what is an appeal. So an appeal is when your claim just does not get paid for any of those variety of reasons that we just talked about. It's a failure along the way of you getting your care. Humans make errors. That's what we do. So when you go in and you schedule something, you want to find out, is this covered by my insurance company? That should be a phone call to your insurance company, not by you, but you can make an after call, because Julie, you did that, right? You called after they told you?
Right, but I even started one step before that. Was I wanted to make sure my doctor was in network.
Yeah.
Because that affected my appeal, or that affected my claim, which got denied, and I had checked on it. I mean, I didn't know if you wanted me to expand on that right now, but
I think we will. Okay. So you found out your doctor was in network. You verified that. Mm-hmm. And then when they registered you for your procedure, you said, do I need a prior authorization? And they either told you yes or no. And then did your insurance company, did they deem it necessary? And what that looks like is, that looks like your doctor picks up the phone to the insurance company and says, I really need Julie to have this procedure, and this is why, ABC, XYZ. It's all your history. It's how that person knows you. Yes, Julie needs that procedure. We're going to approve it. Yes. All of that has to get, all those boxes have to get checked before you have whatever procedure you have done.
Right.
If you don't check those boxes, at the end of that, that's when you get that hated, dreaded letter from your insurance company that says, we're not approving your procedure that you had done. So now we're in the past. Right. So now you're cleaning it up. So the appeal process from that standpoint, looks like you calling your insurance company and you calling your providers back. And that is that's a whole other like issue right there. The easiest way to do it is the front end, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it's an ugly reality, but it's not clean. And it's a lot of like, you need to be organized. It's the same thing that we taught you when you go to the doctor's office. When you are taking out your notebook and you're making notes, you need to do all of that when it comes to this stuff too, because you're the healthcare consumer. Their lives move on. You're the one that gets stuck with the bill if your insurance company decides not to pay.
Right. So I'm going to jump in and tell you what my little story was. So
yeah,
like you said, you can be as organized as you can be, but people make mistakes on the other end.
They do.
So I called and made sure my doctor was in network. I called to make sure that what I was having done was covered, and all of that was the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted. We were all good. So I went into, after a couple of weeks afterwards, I thought, I wonder if that claim came into the insurance portal. And Kathy and I did a video on how to check your insurance health portal, because you can kind of get a jump start on what's being paid, what's going on with it. Is it in process? Has it been approved, denied, or what, So I went in there and I hadn't received a bill or anything yet. And I was just checking the status and it said claim denied. And I went, what? And so I called the insurance company and they did, their due diligence. And then they said, well, you might want to call the doctor because maybe the claim got submitted wrong. So I called the doctor and they said, oh yeah, we see that it got denied, but Julie, on our end, it looks like everything's okay. So we're going to resubmit it. And they did. And guess what? When they resubmitted it, it all got approved and paid. And I'm like, great.
Yeah.
But just that little thing. And I think what happens, it's the new year. It's these insurance companies have so many new clients, people are changing their plans and they're doing all of this. And then they have new staff that they're hiring and may not be up to speed like their seasoned staff. And so things happen. So that's why this is so important, like what Kathy's talking about, on understanding what an appeal is and then what to do.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that makes it really challenging too, and you talked about like new year, new provider, new all of that, but the insurance companies, they change their coverage plan rules. Right. Medicare changes their coverage plan rules. Medicaid does the same. And so it's its own live animal wandering out in the wilderness, and it doesn't happen automatically, unfortunately. It'd be really great if it did. Like if you paid your insurance every month, you wrote the check and then you get free insurance. You get not free insurance, you get your health care. But it's unfortunately is not, we don't live in that society. Right. So your very best bet is to ask your really important questions on the front end, because it's so much easier to fix. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. If you don't have confidence in the registration person who tells you that you don't need a prior authorization, because I'll tell you, of all things, that is number one. Someone says, oh, you don't need the prior authorization for this procedure. My advice to you would be to call that and hear that from the horse's mouth yourself. Because
meaning your health insurance.
Yes, because everything is run by CPT codes and procedure codes and all the revenue codes, and one number is all it takes for it not to be covered.
Right.
So if they say CPT, let's just say 1111, I don't know what that is, probably nothing, and then all of a sudden it's 1211. Now we're talking about something completely different. So you need to follow up on the front end. That's where it's easiest. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to keep you in control of your healthcare as much as you can, and to try to not have to deal with the appeal process at the end.
Right. And that's, again, Kathy, that's why I recommend keeping an eye on your health insurance portal, because you're seeing what's going on while it's fresh in your mind. Like I said, I checked mine 2 weeks after my procedure, right? And so it was fresh in my mind what I had done. If you wait 6 months and then you go in, you've had others appointments, you forget, oh, what did I have done?
All of it.
Then you're spinning your wheels trying to figure it out. So like you said, the front end, keep an eye on it, because it'll help you solve the problem and get resolution much quicker.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Thanks for watching today.
Bye now.
Bye.
Like the content you just watched? Hit the like button or hit subscribe here. If you want to be notified of any future videos, please ring that bell. If there's any topic you'd like to see discussed, leave us a comment in the comment section. Nurse Table Talk. Save time, save money, be informed. Thanks for watching.